Hello, hello. Whilst we're in the field doing a bit of a field trip with the students for the EMF assessment and mitigation training, I thought I'll take a moment to just show you how to make a photo that you can contribute to the localEMF.com website. So it's a site where if you have a reasonable quality Gauss meter or RF meter, you can take some measurements and post those for other people to look at and get educated about an area. Just share your findings with people. So what's important to do, of course you need your meter, and then when you make the photos, the reading should be readable. It doesn't need to be in focus as long as it's readable, and the background needs to be recognizable, I guess. So anyway, here I'm in Warburton, and so I'll upload these pictures onto localEMF.com later. Let's cross the road carefully. So we got these local distribution lines here. Hi, Alan, nice to see you. And so I've got a Gauss meter here, right? Of course, I know I've got it on the right setting. So now I'm near the transmission lines. It helps also that there's a landmark, which of course would help people recognize where it is you're measuring, where you're standing exactly. So for this particular spot, you might make a photo in this direction. You can see the meter, you can see the landmark, and it's also possible to get your images. If they're particularly nice looking, we can put them on the slider of the website, which is kind of cool, like a little, honorable position for a little while. And so if you get your meter and keep your meter or your reading in the middle of the photo, and whatever is noteworthy in the other middle of the right side of the photo, then that part will be visible in the slider. So then you kind of, maybe qualify for those. So anyway, so this would be a nice spot. So let's say 0.7 something. You always try and catch the highest value, because that's of course what the body has the most problems with. So that would be a nice photo, or for the exact same measurement, I could stand over here and people would recognize that as well. You see those values of course change, right? So not too bad, nice high local distribution line. So now I could, for example, cross, which is of course far more interesting because this is where people actually spend time. All right, now you see with Gauss meters, you got to hold them steadily. You shouldn't swing them around. You see as the numbers go really up, because the sensors has to recalculate all the time. All right, and so again here, that would be a good photo, even if the meter's out of focus, or maybe in that direction, so we can see, setting this far away from the local distribution lines. This is where people would sit and walk. Pretty nice reading. Now, if this was a residential area and you wanted to know what people inside this building are exposed to, then you could just kind of walk further away from the local distribution lines this way and kind of say, okay, well, this far from the local distribution lines we got this much. All right, meter nicely in the middle. See, and it drops off quite nicely. So, for the people working in the shop strip, pretty reasonably safe to say that they get nice acceptable readings inside. Of course, that's certainly not the same everywhere you go, right? This is Warburton, meaning we're following a river up to a dam, and it's kind of, let's say, call it a dead end, right? So the power that goes to this area, you only use the power here that's used in the area. So the more power is being used, the more magnetic field you get. So the exact same lines that you're looking at here might produce much stronger magnetic field somewhere else, because it just depends on how much power is going through it. Cool, all right, let's quickly cross the road. We'll do one more photo on the other side. You get a bit of an idea for both sides of the local distribution lines. Okay, maybe a little bit of distance. Alright, so again, this would make it recognizable for anybody looking at this picture later, that hey, that's in my town. I know that place. See, so now I got the meter on the right. Of course, if you put the meter further away, you got more chance that they're both in focus. The meter comes close, then your camera has to make a decision on what to focus on. Alright, so you got to find a bit of a good middle area. Of course, you can look at your reflection in your meter, and then again, if you're making photos, just step away, make photo, and then afterwards you can look which one showed you the highest reading, and then you could upload that one. So yeah, anyway, I think lunchtime is up. Time to get going. So just taking these people to do some field work in relation to radiation. So anyway, if you've got a EMF meter, reasonable quality, love you to make photos around your area, streets, suburbs, and post those pictures on localEMF.com, so other people can look at what sort of exposures are measured by others. I think in the future they'll be exceptionally valuable the more pictures we get, especially people that are electro-hypersensitive and that are looking for places with less exposure. Of course, there's no guarantee when one person measures one particular moment on one particular meter that sort of readings are there all the time. But if you can see with the color coding of the icons, if a certain area has typically high exposure, or hey, hang on, there's a little bit less there, it gives you a place to start looking and maybe visiting and doing your own measurements and do a bit of investigating. So yeah, please share your images and share the images with other people and make them aware of this website so more people can contribute. All right, see you next time.